Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. Hey Kim! So here we are, it is July, and for the past, I think it's 3 or 4 years, I've always done something kind of fun in July with the theme Christmas in July, which I'm sure lots of you have seen before. So I've done different things through the years. I did a sketch camp one year. I've done coupons, not coupons. I've done different workshop, Christmas themed workshop being on sale every week in July. I've done all sorts of different things, and typically there's always like a live video component to it. So this year I'm shaking things up a little bit, because why not? Let's do something a little bit different. So I did actually just hit publish on a blog post about my Christmas in July specials for Chris's Creative Life. You can stop by my blog and check that out. It's chrisscreativelife.com/Christmas in July. I'll add the link after here to the comments in this post below. But so I am going to create a layout with you today from kind of almost start to finish, not quite start to finish. I have some kind of like rough ideas, and like to boot, I thought it was super fun that Stampin' Up released some online exclusive products. Hey Julie, you're right below me. I am in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which is the center of Canada. So the geographical center of Canada. Anyway, so I'm going to create a layout for you today. But so during July, Stampin' Up does something called bonus days. Also, just if anybody knows, so when you spend during the month of July, you can acquire coupons that then you could put towards products in August. So I'm also in the process of writing a blog post about that. I have not finished that yet. But so during July, we also got some online exclusive items. And so they kind of have a holiday Christmas theme. So that's what I decided to create with. I thought that just kind of ties everything up into the nice, pretty little bow. You all know I love a good theme, and I can run with the theme. Let's just say that. So I'm going to add my desk in here, turn up one of the lights so that you can see a little bit better. If we get too much glare, I do actually have my glass mat down, which is one of those things that they released in the online exclusives. So I do use it all the time when I'm crafting, but if we get too much glare from my light overhead, I can move it out of the way. I'll be fine without it there. It just makes it a little bit handier. But so I'm going to add my desk in here, and we're going to see some of the things that I have pulled to play with. So like I said, I have just, well, you don't need to see my keyboard, obviously. Okay, let's turn this light up a little bit more. Okay. So obviously I've got some cardstock here. But so one of the themed online exclusive themed items is this little paper pack, which is Icon Celebration 6x6. And so I thought, okay, well, you couldn't like pick anything more perfect than that. So they're little, it's a 6x6 stack of papers. They're double-sided. So I'll just like, and I'm going to use these, I think, I should not say that, but I think I'm going to use them with all of my lives this month. So there will be like a grouping of lives that are all like Christmas in July themed. Okay, so how stinking cute is that candy cane? I didn't use it today, but you could potentially see me use it. So these are kind of like, there's general themes, right? So there's Christmas, fall, Valentine's Day, the little hearts, but you could do hearts anytime. The little champagne glasses for New Year's. Like how cute are these little acorns with the little leaves, right? And the back is just a good dot. You know I love a good dot. So then there's a plaid on the back side. No, that's not correct. On the back side, it's this really pretty little, I'm not sure it's supposed to be ivy, because ivy I always think of as having kind of like a little scallopy edge to it, but it's a little leaf with berries on it. So I actually am going to use this piece of paper today and this piece of paper today, because I thought they kind of were like, they go in my holiday in July theme. I'm going to use this green striped piece of paper on the back. It's leaves. But so these are the three that I picked out to use. This is kind of fun. This is like fireworks. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be for like New Year's, but you could totally ink blend on the back of this, and that would be super fun too, right? You could even make it a 4th of July theme, which is today. So there's little candles on the back, and how sweet are those? Then there's some Christmas trees. Oh, I could have used this one too. Well, it's okay. We have to have stuff to use all month, right? So there's fun little trees, and on the back are snowflakes. This is very pretty. Then there's these fun little pumpkins, and on the back is this pretty plaid. So you can see how, right, there's different themes, different color combinations. The really pretty dove, and then on the back is this fun star. Then there's a diagonal stripe, and on the back is this little tree. And then there's like a confetti piece of paper, because you always got to have a good confetti piece of paper. And then on the back is the stars, right? And so the coordinating colors, because that's how I decided my cardstock to pull. The coordinating colors for this little 6x6 designer series paper are Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Midnight, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Pecan Pie. I'm getting better. At least I can now sometimes pick out some of them without having to read them all. I am getting better, but it's going to take me a little while. Okay, so that's the paper, right? So there's there's a bunch of new stuff. So if you want to look at the online exclusives, so if you're in Canada and interested in shopping for the online exclusives, you can find my shopping website with Stampin' Up at chrisrobertson.stampinup.net. But here's some of the other things that I've pulled out. So I've got the black baker's twine, which is part of the essentials pack. So then there's also like a coordinating stamp set, right, that goes with it. Icon imagery. And so this is fun. We're going to actually use this title today, Celebrate, but this is a really pretty scripty font too, Grateful. And then there's little words that you can combine, right, to make things. And then I love the little icon details. There's also dies for it, right, so that coordinate with it. So I did like stamp and die cut out some fun little things that I think I'm going to use, but we'll just see. And then like this is really cute, right? We're going to use this, I think. Anyway, and then I've grabbed some ribbon. So this is Pecan Pie, and it is center striped ribbon. This isn't new. It's been on there for a while, but I think it's an online exclusive too. And then, okay, so these little embellishments I grabbed. So they're Cherry Cobbler and Pearl adhesive back berries. So we're going to use some of these. And this is kind of neat. So some of them are singles. And then some of them are like in a little trio to look like a cluster of berries. So they're attached together and they come off together. So we're going to use that. Oh, that's so funny. Kim says I just turned on you know who. It is a super cute stamp set. And I love the fact that, so I'm going to just talk about that for 2 seconds before we move along. But, so lots of them, so one thing I am thoroughly enjoying is kind of this 2-step stamping. So these little trees, I did a bunch of these little trees, and I did them with old olive and mossy meadow. And like, they're super not hard to stamp, and they look really cute. So these are the inks that I pulled out. So I have cherry cobbler, old olive, and mossy meadow. So I did pre-stamp some of these, and then the same thing too, right? There's these little bunches of leaves. Those are the same ones, right? That on that piece of paper they have the little berries. So I thought if I use this, I could add these on here, right? So, because then I get like the mixed textures too, right? So not everything is stamped. And I thought it just kind of would be a fun little way to pull that in. So I did cut some little branches with pecan pie. And I thought if you wanted to, you could add the berries on here, or you could use like the enamel like the pearlized enamel effects, so any of them to actually create your berries too. Like there's lots of different colors, so you could use those to make berries too. I have also pulled out some embossing powder because I think that's how we're gonna do our title. Okay, so that's what I've got going on here. So let's see what we're gonna create. So okay, and this, yes, so this is another thing that I really quite like about Stampin' Up! And the way that they pull things together so this is the die set that goes with this stamp set, right? So you would think, oh, it just cuts out. I've got to stand up now. We're at my limit of sitting down. You would think, oh, it's only going to cut out the images, right? So for example, I'll cut out the stars, the trees, the oak leaf, right? The candle, etc. But then there's some extra things in here. So I'm actually going to use these today. I'm going to put my title, I think, on this one. And then I'm going to use this too. And then there's these fun little ones that cut out like lots of things. So I did actually do some stars with Daffodil Delight. And then just this bigger star too. So that's what I've got in my little container to play with today. But I was going to say something else about this. Oh, this is the other thing I was going to say. Okay, so you can stamp it, right? Super easy to stamp, even two-step stamping. I can do that if you want to see, but we'll just see how long this whole thing's going to take. But I think if you don't want to stamp, you can also use some of them to cut out the images from the paper, which I am loving. So I can use this on my paper, and then let's say all my paper is done, I can still stamp with it, right? So I'm assuming too, let's just check that, for example, this candle might, oh, it might not. Oh, maybe not. It might be too big. No, it's too big. But let's see. Does the snowflake fit with this one? Maybe. Yeah. So you can use the star to cut out the snowflake. And then I'm assuming one of the leaves must match this one. Of course, I can't find it when I'm pretty sure there was, but maybe I'm wrong. You guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Okay. So Kim says, So do you just randomly start die cutting the shapes and then figure out what you'll use? I'm trying to get the hang of using everything together. So yes, well, okay, that's so not true. It kind of depends at what part of the creative process I'm in. But I'm always going to pick my papers first and then go from there. And so I have a general plan, and then I knew some things that I might want to add, and I knew I was going to use this. And so I just played around with it and things that I knew might coordinate so that you guys didn't have to watch me stamp and die cut to finish my layout, right? So here we go. This is my general plan. See, that oak leaf I think is too small, but I did know that there was an oak leaf on here somewhere. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of 12 by 12 cherry cobbler. And I did gut out the middle. So let me just, because there's not a lot of 12 by 12 yet. Like I can't buy, for example, a single package of 12 by 12. So I am trying to do the best use with my 12 by 12 that I can. And obviously, if I'm going to do a series, this color could come up quite a few times. So I gutted it at 1.5 inches from all 4 sides. You guys have seen me do that lots before. Then I have a piece of black cardstock, and this is 10 1/4 by 10 1/4. So I am going to add my adhesive around the edge of my square. Okay, that was just lightning. You guys, of course, it started to like thunder and lightning. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that. We have had a lot of wet. Okay, so I want to center this, right? Oh, so did I say 10? It's 10 1/4. So we're going to center it. We'll just grab my T-square. And I don't necessarily really care if I'm out just by a little bit, but because I have a series of squares, I know it's not crazy. Maybe it's just my really good mics, but I don't think so. Yes, we've had some really crappy weather lately. So I actually thought I was gonna literally just at lunchtime, I was gonna bring my cushions back outside, but I did not, because then it it's been super muggy all day, which is why then I have like crazy frizzy hair. So I thought I'll just add my elf hat to the situation to help Christmas in July. And I also couldn't find my Santa hat. So later this month, you'll probably see my Santa hat, because this is not my favorite one. And the bell makes the dogs kind of crazy. So, okay. And then this one is, I did use French vanilla because I'm still waiting for my Stampin' Up vanilla. Oh, there we go again. Okay, so this one is 10 by 10. Okay. Like, just that's pretty all by itself. But so here is what I did. Then I knew I wanted to use these 3 patterns, right? And I'm going to create then squares on my squares. So I cut 3 by 3 pieces of these. So it's just less than one piece of each of the pieces of paper. And then I needed to create a pattern. So I'm going to show you what I did because I have kind of a rough idea of what I wanted. I played with my pattern here. So I'm going to put one of the plaid ones up here because I had this piece here first, and you'll see later when I want to add something up here and over the trees, it just didn't work really well. So here's my 3 patterns, right? So those are 3 by 3 pieces of each. Okay, so I want to be able to use them all, and I only have 9 squares, right? So they're 3 by 3. But I don't want them to duplicate. So you can see it's the same order, just offset by 1, so that I could get it to all work out. So this is what we're gonna do. So nothing ends up right above each other. Oh, look like that. We got tic-tac-toe going across. It's fine because we're gonna add the photos in the middle. So you won't actually notice that later. So let's put these down, and then we can have some fun. Once the kind of like foundation is down, then we're good to go. So, and you could totally flip this. This would be pretty too on here. So you could use any combination of like 3 by 3 squares to create this, right? It obviously, you might not want to put on your elf hat and do Christmas in July, but you could. So you could pick, right, the fall ones and do a fall themed layout the same. This would actually also be really pretty, but I wanted the trees. So that was my starting point. Okay. So this is like the super boring part, but I didn't want to like start too much beforehand. I was going to say it might be over, but I don't think it is. It just got quieter. So you could also, right, mix and match the patterns so that you could have more than 3 patterns. Okay, so then now it's super easy to just put my middle pieces in. And I'm just being conscious that if with my stripe, if I'm doing them in one direction, they're all going to be in the same direction. I love this little tree though. It almost looks like it's like icing. It's not, obviously, and it's not supposed to be a cookie. Maybe I'm just hungry or craving sweets. Okay. Okay, so then now we have everything roughed in. Now we get to have some fun. Okay. So this is also a good thing if you have like a one-page layout that's like quite intensive, right? Like it's got only a few photos on it, and you need a companion page. A pattern like this is a good way to kind of start your second page. Okay, so here are the things that I played with. So I have this piece, right, which is the die, one of the dies that matches that set. And I have a couple different colors. And I think we're going to emboss them, the title, with silver. And so I want the title to be Celebrate, like that. And it fits on there. I tested it. So then, here we go. I have some extra things here, right? Here's that little tree. Okay, so I did test it, right? So originally I thought, oh, I'll just do like a French vanilla one, but I think I want more color. So we're going to heat emboss it. And so, like I said, when I cut out the inside, then I used it, right, to cut extra pieces for playing with. Okay, and then, but I also have a couple black pieces if I don't like the cherry cobbler. So we have two 4x4 photos. We're going to add some twine because I can again. For anybody that's been watching me for a very long time, love it. So we're going to do a double mat with cherry cobbler and black. Okay, so I'm going to do this one from scratch over here, but I'm just going to show you kind of my general plan. So the cherry cobbler layer is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then the black is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to do my twine in between those layers and add some dimension there, right? So this is kind of what we've got going on here. And then we're going to do our title down here, but we're going to do a different color. And I think if I can have enough room on either side, I might slice this and run the ribbon through it. Or I think too, you could probably just do like 2 layers and have the ribbon go through. But we'll see once we have embossed it. Okay, so then I thought we're going to do a little something right here. And that's kind of what we got going on. That's why I wanted not the tree to be in the corner here. And I think we're probably going to do a color, but I have that white just cut. So then I thought, well, let's do some hidden journaling behind this photo. So I have some extra cherry cobbler here if we need it. I grabbed these, which are the Pocket Thoughts dies. I know, so many embellishments. So I cut the middle size one out with French vanilla. I'm going to add it to the back of this photo. And then I have a little piece for journaling that will fit in. And I think I'm going to add that to use as like the pull tab so you know that there's something there for the journaling. So that's kind of the thought process that we're going through. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get our photo pocket going here. Our journaling pocket, sorry. So just going to fold on the score lines. So I wanted one that was obviously big enough that I could tuck some journaling in, but wasn't so big that it was bigger than the photograph. You could use the bigger one, just I would use it in a different situation kind of thing. Okay, so this is ready to go when we get there. Okay, so this is going to look kind of like that. Okay, so let's do our photo here. So I just have like the black baker's twine I'm going to wrap it around my photo. So even though I have a photo placeholder here, when I add my photo on, it'll just tuck right underneath this because it's not actually attached to the photo mat, right? And by having the, so you could do this right over your photo also, right? Just going to wrap it around a few times. I do 2 or 3, kind of just depends on how I'm feeling. The other one though, I did 3. So this one I'm going to do 3. And where they cross over, I'm just going to tie it, and then you could obviously also leave this step out, but I thought it just kind of goes perfectly with like the color scheme. So then Kim says, and now, okay, 1 second. I have to go backwards because I'm missing something. Heidi says, love your hat. What fun you are. It's Independence in the US, so it's so funny to see Christmas. I know. So my last few weeks of live have ended up on Fridays, and then it gets super hard for me to then photograph everything and do a blog post and write my newsletter. And so I decided I was going back to Thursdays. I typically always used to be on Thursday, like Wednesday or Thursday. And then everything got super busy, obviously, with everything else going on. And so it got pushed to the end of the week. So, and I thought, you know what? Thursday, 4th of July might not be a bad day. People are maybe relaxing and they could come and watch. It is super funny. No matter what, when I do Christmas in July, it's kind of funny. Normally, when it's super nice outside, I could be floating in the pool before and then come inside. But like I said, the weather has literally been caca. So, okay, so I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back. And by doing that too, it will also hold my twine in place. Okay. And then Kim says, and now I must get the pocket dies. They were on my maybe list. But I didn't think about journaling pockets. Oh, yes. And especially this big one. It's perfect. Or perfect to put a whole group of photos into. Perfect for scrapbooking. Heidi says, not too bad at all. Too hot to be outside right now. Fireworks don't start till 9. Well, of course it has to be dark. Yes, and it was so humid today, right? You could tell we were going to have a storm. So I was kind of hoping it wouldn't storm, but of course, and right as I was doing collecting the end of my last few things, I could hear it, and I thought, oh, okay, that's par for the course for this summer. Okay, so let's add this down here. Yes, our holiday in Canada is July the 1st. So for us this year, it was actually, the pockets will be great on here. It was actually a Monday, which was really nice because we ended up with a long weekend. Okay, so I'm going to just trim my ends and fray them a little bit, but you could totally leave them just like that. I'm feeling like this is kind of very, there it is. I was trying to find my pickup tool. Kind of Christmassy, but not over the top Christmassy. I kind of like the country Christmassy look of it with like the mossy meadow, and there we go. Okay, so we've got one here, and this is the one we're going to do our pocket on. But we're gonna emboss our title first. So, but we'll do the second pocket, the second mat here. And I'm almost positive when I'm looking at this that I want this to be a color up here. We'll see. I thought you could put like the date there. I'm going to have a subtitle on this one too. So I'm going to do celebrate. And then there's a little stamp that says the season. So I'm going to do that underneath it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, you could tell by all our humidity today that something was going to happen. Like, that tree is just so cute. It's almost a Christmas sampler, yes. You could totally turn it into a sampler. And there's other fun things, like other parts of the online exclusives that would be really great as a sampler too. Okay, so here we go. This is where we're going. And I'm going to put this one on dimensionals because my pocket's going to be in the back. Okay, so my pocket is going to be back here. And it can go like perfectly like this. If I wanted it to stick up, I could also put the, like, cut it twice and do the back side. But because I'm going to have like a decorative piece poking out, I'm not sure. I don't think I want a second one. So I'm just going to do it like flush with the top. But I'm just going to leave it there so we know that's where that's going. So now we need to decide black or red for the celebrate. Which should we do? So we're going to do this celebrate in silver. So I was just thinking I should actually look that I actually grabbed silver. I did. Maybe black. If we don't like it, I can switch it. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit invisible for a few seconds. Just a little bit of anti-static powder. I'm also super excited about being able to emboss things again. And I think that like one of the funnest things is I think like embossing in like gold and silver is so holiday. But there's also like, okay, let me just see. There's more metallics. There's clear, there's black, and then I'm wondering, I think the last one is, can't actually see it behind me. Copper, maybe? Okay. Pretty good. So let's do the silver over top. I have not used the silver even yet. Okay, so I think that's going to be pretty. We'll put this, you know what, we're going to just move this to the side, or we're going to have like one of those bad accidents where I'll end up with like everything embossed together. There we go. Okay, so I'll just warm this up for a second. So you can actually emboss on the glass mat. So I'm just letting my heat tool warm up just a little bit. But I actually want to see, guys, when I move things around and I can't find things. So I just have a little bit of stray powder. There we go. This is just an empty water brush. It works. I have like a fluffy brush. This one I've obviously done something with that's like glue related, and so it's like super hard. No. Okay. So, of course, it was probably just about hot. Oh, that's funny. My heat tool sounds like it's gonna die. Hopefully, it will at least work for the title. Holy smokes. You know when like your hair dryer just like stops working? That's kind of what I feel like is happening here. We'll see. Oh, there we go. It's going. So maybe we'll at least make it through the title. That's funny. Oh, the silver is very pretty in real life. Well, so I'm thinking maybe it's quiet because it's starting, the motor's starting to go. I do have another one that I could pull out if I needed. This is just like the Ranger one. So I do know that it is quite quiet, but I have a feeling that it's a little bit quieter than normal, than I would want it to be, for the fact that maybe it is starting to go. The silver is very pretty. There's nothing like the magic of heat embossing. So many people, they say that's like was their gateway into crafting, right? Watching somebody heat emboss something for the first time. It is kind of though like watching paint dry. I will not lie. I'm sure it's not very exciting. But then all of a sudden it just goes and it's super pretty. And I typically will heat it from underneath and above so that I get a little bit less warping in the paper. And also it's helpful so that it does not burn the embossing. Okay. Yeah, I feel like my heat tool is literally, oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. And it's slightly dangerous to be, that's kind of what it sounds like on the air. I know, like, it sounds like like when you have a hair dryer and it's just about to die on you. So the silver is very pretty. So I think we're going to go with the silver. We're going to add our pocket. So I have all these packages, so I think I'm going to do it so it pokes up on this side. So I have like the leftover packages or rolls of tear tape from like my paper pumpkin and card kit, so we're going to use some of that. It just, that, like, honestly, that heat tool sounds a little bit pathetic, if I do say so. I'm going to have to trim my little insert. I just wasn't sure how much I wanted to pop up, but and the funny thing is, like, the heat tool, it kind of would get like a little burst of where it would get going again. But isn't it so true, like when your hairdryer goes, it's like always right in the middle of when you're like trying to get ready to do something. So I think I want it right about there. And there'll be Kim says, I love the silver. I haven't played with embossing lately, so I'll have to break that out. And it does, like, I don't know why it is that, like, so, like, it, when I think, and I wasn't actually, right, like I showed you, that wasn't actually my original plan. I was originally just going to stamp it. And then I thought, I felt like that got lost a little bit on the layout. So that's why I decided, oh, maybe we'll heat emboss it. Not thinking potentially, okay, so I want it to go on this side, so I need it over here. So like I said, there's tons of different ways you could use this for a journaling pocket. So this one will be hidden, right? You're not going to see it, but we're going to put the pull tab there. So my piece of paper is too long, like I said, but I wanted to use this to pull it out. So we're going to trim that down too. But I have like a black one and a red one, depending on what we need here. Okay. So, but I do not have enough room to put a slit to pull the ribbon through there. So what if we did something more just like that? So it kind of just looks like a tag. Okay, so let's add and just do a glue dot. So they lay the way I want them to. And then I can glue dot in the middle. Like that. See, it kind of looks like a Christmas present tag. So we will pop this up. Okay, so here we go. And actually, I'm going to do a little ribbon up there too. But so here we go. We've got this, like this, like this. Okay, for sure we need to cut some of this off because it's making me crazy. So this is like 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. So, and it's just gonna fit in my pocket just like that. And then we'll attach this hooking up like that. So I need to add some journaling lines on here, but I'll do that after because you guys don't need to watch that. You guys have seen me do that a million times. But on this piece, I'll just add journaling lines, right? Okay. Just like that. So, and I'm going to add something on there, right? So you notice it. Okay, so then we need to do the celebrate, and then I'm going to do the season. So that is right there. And let's do Mossy Meadow, I think. And there's actually a smaller one too, right? So I actually thought we could even like layer that up over top of that one. So you had some place to put your date. Okay. I think we're in the home stretch now, guys. So I want this to kind of overlap. So I'm going to add some adhesive on it and then attach it, and then I can add dimension where I need it versus just having to guess. Right? So I can see now. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this one down. And I'm kind of feeling like I wish I had done it in red, but that's okay. That's okay. So this, I'm going to add some dimension on the back. Yes. I still have lots of room to like tuck my photos underneath. So you could also obviously make this a bigger photo if you wanted, like a 4x6, very easily. And then I'm thinking we're going to do a little tree right there. Oh, that's cute. That's cute if I do say so myself. And this one, okay, so just let me get this stuck down here. I need a little dimensional behind it. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to use one of these little stars on the top. Oh, thanks, Jean. I don't know why your comment didn't show up on the screen, but that's okay. Because they're coming from different places, not all of them come through. Okay, so this isn't attached yet. So I'm just going to add my little star at the top of this tree. So like I said, this is just from that long strip of the die. There we go. I have to put that over there though, or I will lose that. Okay, so let's get a star here. Okay, how cute is that, you guys? Okay, so for here on the pullout thing, I want to add something. So what if we did... I don't think I want another tree. So we're going to do one of these. And we're going to tuck it in underneath. Like that. So let's add some glue. And I'm going to tuck it underneath here. Like that. Okay. You're very welcome. Kim says she's going to case it for sure. So then, like I said, I think these berries are stinking cute. So we're going to add 3 berries. There we go. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear. My dog is asleep beside me, but she's having a bad dream, so she's crying. Okay, so we have to do that still. I have to touch that, but I'm going to tuck this in. I love that. Okay. So let's add this down so that it stops flying around. That's going to put over there. Jean says she loves this layout. I am glad. Okay, Emmy might have stopped crying now in her sleep. They were at doggy daycare this morning. Maybe she was being chased by bigger, nastier dogs than her brother. No, she's not whining. She's crying. She's like sound asleep beside me. It does kind of sound like whining though, for sure. There we go. Okay, so then we have just the little top one to finish. So I'm going to, I think, there we go. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to do a glue dot. Thank you, Tara. It's not my preferred hat for Christmas in July, but don't you worry, by next week I will find my Santa hat. They're normally always in the same spot because I do use them at Christmas time, and then I always use them in July for Christmas in July at some point. But I couldn't find it. So this was the only hat in the spot where I normally keep my Santa hats. So I'm not really sure. They must have, somebody different than me must have put them away. So oh, they're so funny. I always think that when dogs are dreaming and they're like crying in their sleep, like they've got to be pretty sad, right? Mine whines all the time too, but okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of the ribbon behind this cluster, this little cluster we're going to create here. Just going to add a glue dot on the back about where I want it. So about there, I'm thinking. Okay. Okay, I actually want it at the other end. Like this. And that's, nope, that's too far now. You can only move a glue dot so many times, I will say. There we go. Okay. So then, like I said, I thought this little one would be perfect for like the date or the year, one of those things. So, Oh, that was just some good lightning again. So they're just kind of like layered up there. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where did the tree go? And then I'm going to add the tree right there. Kim says her dog wants to go out. I have one dog that will not go out in the rain at all, no matter what. You can bribe him, give him treats, all of those things. Okay, so Leon says, what's a sampler? I've only been able to access the comments now. So too, sometimes it's funny, right? Because so for example, Kim is watching on YouTube, right? So her comments will only come onto YouTube. Yes, that's what I like that. And I'm going to move that ribbon again. Your video kept freezing. Well, that's not good. Hopefully that's maybe just because I'm having a thunderstorm. So a sampler is, so they're typically like holiday themed. You would hang them up on like a wall or something as a display piece. You can do them like with themes. So for example, okay, this is kind of like the, nope, you can't see that. 1 second. One moment, please. This piece right, nope, there is kind of an example of a sampler. So that one has the pinwheels on it. But so you can do them themed. So you could do like a Christmas sampler, and you kind of use each of the blocks and decorate them. So you could, like, you almost think of each of the little tiny squares as like a miniature card or scrapbooking page, and you could have like a theme. So this would be like, you could do like a Christmas sampler, or you can do a Valentine's Day sampler, like fun things like that. Okay, guys, I'm literally going to move. I'm going to actually cut a new piece of ribbon because this poor piece of ribbon, I've moved it around too many times, that it was just not happy with me. You could even do them like themes, like you could do like a dog one, or right, just to hang on your wall. That's what it kind of is. If somebody has a better explanation as to what a sampler is, tell me. But typically they like have some sort of theme and you hang them up. And typically, like I said, they also have quadrants. So it wouldn't necessarily always have to be squares, right? You can do them different. So like you could have one here, like a longer rectangle. Yeah. Hey, Judy. Happy Christmas in July to you too. All I'm going to say is I'm happy that it's just a thunderstorm and we're not actually having a snowstorm for Christmas in July. I should probably like knock on wood somewhere, something like that. Because I don't think I should have just said that. That's probably like a bad omen. Because I did see somewhere, not very far from us, had hail that looked like snow the other day. So I don't want any of that either, even if it's just temporary. Yeah, so I did like in the membership group, I did like a fall one. I've done like a Valentine's Day one. But two, you could do them, like if you think about each, like you could do all the squares the same, or you can do them all different. It's kind of, like I said, it's a fun little kind of home decor project. Okay, so, but we are going to add some more gems because we have them. Okay, let me just make sure. I think I should add, because I added a star to this tree, I think I'm going to add one to the other one too. Just on the tippy top. Okay. The little star on the top of the tree is just so stinking cute. Oh, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to add Winkastella to that star. Because we can too. I just going to give that a second to dry though. But so let's just make sure I don't have anything left in front of me that I wanted to use on here other than my Winkastella. So I used the twine. So I can roll that up, put that there. I've got like 8 meters of ribbon unrolled for some bizarre reason. Okay, use that. Don't need a bone folder. Okay, we're going to use the Winkastella. We don't need that anymore. Okay, much better. I was getting a little bit crowded here. Okay, so we're going to add some, actually, I think, let's just see. No, a single. Whoa, that one went flying. There we go. And we have our 3 there, so I'm not going to add more there. So that's enough of those. So I am going to just add my Winkastella just on top of the star for a little sparkle. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's perfect. So I don't know if you can see, but just the top of the little tree is sparkling. Okay, guys. We actually made it to the end there. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the first installment in my Christmas in July 2024. And don't worry, I will be back next week. I already have my project kind of roughed in. Do you find that you have less of your camera autofocusing now that you have? Yes. The problem is the glare on the glass mat. So if the glare gets too bad, then I pull it out of the way. So but I also get glare from my glasses with the lights too, right? So the glare is an issue for me no matter what. I just kind of have to pick which is the less of all of the evils, kind of, right? So, and I like, you guys know me, I like to play with like a technique and like play with ink and stuff. So the glass mat, I find I use it a lot. So I really quite like it. So if I don't have to pull it off the table, I kind of leave it there. If I can block, I've tried to kind of move the lights around to see if that helps. It doesn't really help. Like I said, I get it from my glasses too all the time. So it is what it is. If it is annoying, then I can like block out on part of it too. Sometimes I have done that where if the glare is too bad in one spot, and you will see like I kind of try and move stuff into the spot. You're very welcome. I'm going to photograph this tomorrow, and there'll be more details in my newsletter this weekend. So I'm going to try and get the sketch done for my newsletter this weekend. But so if you're not on the newsletter, on my newsletter list, I will add the link into the comments below. And I hope you guys all have a great weekend. A happy 4th of July in the US. Happy Canada Day, even though it's over now for anybody in Canada. And we will talk to you later. Have a great day, guys. And I'll see you next week with installment number 2. Bye, guys.